What's cracking with you people? Anansi here, and welcome back to Star Wars: Knights of the Old Republic. I was going to say Knights of the Republic 2. No, we're still in the first one. In the last one, we tackled a Shakespearean drama in space that wasn't given nearly the amount of time it needed to breathe as the original play did. We also finished off the Mandalorian threat, and for it, we got two new lightsabers, one of which is red. So, in this one, we're going to follow up on our mission. Tell the council of our handling of the ancient ruins and of the Matali Sandral affair, since we did resolve that peacefully.
Ah, you have returned, young Padawan. Have you discovered what it was that Revan and Malak sought in those ruins?
Lie. No, I could not find anything. We found an incomplete star map and mention of something called a star forge.
This news of a star forge is disturbing. Action is required, but we must not do so in haste. We must discuss recent events in light of this new information.
We should consult the Jedi archives to see if there's any mention of the Star Forge and what it might do. We must learn why Revan and Malak sought it out.
Return to your ship with Bastila, and we will summon you when we are done. Padawan, you have done well in discovering the star map hidden within the ancient ruins. But there is more you must do in the battle against Malak and the Sith. We Jedi know victory over the Sith will not come through martial might. The Council has a mission for you, Padawan.
I've consulted our vast archives in an effort to discover the nature of this Star Forge, but all my efforts have been in vain.
Still, the Council are in agreement. The Star Forge must be found. Revan and Malak sought it out when they began their tragic fall. The Star Forge is surely a powerful tool of the dark side.
The star map in the ruins showed you 4 planets, but it was incomplete. It did not show the location of the Star Forge itself. We believe there may be similar star maps on other planets. Each star map is likely a small piece of a larger puzzle. Find the star maps on Kashyyyk, Tatooine, Manan, and Korriban, and we believe they will lead you to the Star Forge.
Sounds like a suicide mission to me.
Ever brash, ever disrespectful, this is what we have pinned our hopes on?
Peace, Rook. We have discussed this. There is no other choice. The Jedi numbers have been ravaged by this war, by defections to Malak's cause, and by Sith assassins. But we realize the importance of this mission. Yet if we send a company of Jedi Knights with you, we would surely draw the full attention of Malak and the Sith, dooming your efforts to failure.
Am I to undertake this task alone?
Secrecy is our best defense against the Sith. But it would be foolish to send you on this quest without someone to aid you, young Padawan. Bastila will accompany you, for there is a powerful connection between you two. A connection that might be the key to unraveling the mysteries uncovered by Revan. And Juhani has also asked to accompany you. After long deliberation, we have granted her request.
Juhani nearly fell to the dark side. Perhaps her presence will serve as a reminder to you of the dangers of that path.
Great. Bastila and the Catwoman. Anyone else you want to stick me with? There are others I want to join me.
Of course, those who aided you in Paris will also come. They possess skills you may find useful in your quest. Remember that secrecy and discretion are paramount to your success. You will not be able to hide the fact that you are a Jedi, nor should you. But the true nature of your mission must not reach Malak's ears. You may return here at any time. Dantooine will be a sanctuary for you, a safe haven. Here you can find supplies and whatever advice or other aid we may give you.
When do I leave?
You can leave whenever you wish. The sooner the better. The longer you wait, the stronger Malik becomes. But first, a warning, young Padawan. The lure of the dark side is difficult to resist. I fear this quest to find the Star Forge could lead you down an all too familiar path.
The fate of the galaxy is in your hands, young Padawan. We pray you are up to the challenge. May the Force be with you.
And with that, we are now free to leave the Jedi Enclave on Dantooine. Whew, there's a lot dropped on us there. So we now have access to 4 planets that we have to search for other star maps in order to find a Star Forge. A construct so old there are no records of it within the Jedi archives. Padawan, a word, if I may. There are many rumors about your most recent meeting with the Jedi Council. There is talk that they are sending you on a mission to help us against Malik and the Sith. I don't think the Council would want me to speak openly of this mission. Please understand that I am not asking you to reveal anything that could endanger the Order Republic. Whatever task the Council has given you is for your ears, not mine. I only wanted to wish you well, and to warn you to be careful. There are many evils out there, many dangers. The Sith are not the only minions of the dark side. What could be more dangerous than the Sith? Master Dorak has been training me to succeed as chronicler here in the Academy. In my studies, I have come across tales of creatures that are born of the dark side, monsters of pure evil. The worst of these abominations is the Terran Tatic, a beast that feeds on the blood of those who are strong in the Force. Over the centuries, many Jedi have fallen to their ravenous hunger. It's hard to believe an animal could pose a threat to a Jedi. The Terran Tatic is a predator, and we Jedi are its prey. They are incredibly strong with a primal cunning, and they have an inborn resistance to the Force. There are some who believe the Terran Tatic is a monster bred by the ancient Sith and spread throughout the galaxy. Unfortunately, the Terran Tatic is quite rare. They only dwell in the most dangerous and darkest of places. In fact, one has not been seen in nearly 40 years. Last one by a little too fast for me. Sounds like they're... No, wait. Then why are you worried about them now? This is not the first time the Terran Tatic has vanished for long periods of time. Many believe they can lay dormant for years, only to rise and hunt when the power of the dark side waxes full. I fear Malik's rise may have woken these creatures from their dormant state. Once the Sith are beaten, I would not be surprised if the Council organized another great hunt to try and exterminate them. The Great Hunt? What's that? The Great Hunt was organized by the Jedi Council shortly after the war against Exar Kun. Jedi were scattered throughout the galaxy, helping to rebuild from the devastation. Many Jedi vanished during this period, disappearing from a variety of worlds without warning. We did not know they had been slain until their mutilated bodies began to be discovered. The Council investigated and discovered the Terran Tatic were behind the killings. It was decided the galaxy had to be purged of these insatiable monsters, though the cost proved high. So the Jedi just killed these creatures? The Terran Tatic are an abomination. They are ruthless engines of death and destruction. The Council had no choice but to destroy them for the greater good of the galaxy. Many Jedi banded together and journeyed to the planets that were suspected of harboring the Tarantotic. The Great Hunt did not rest until all the creatures had been slain, or almost all. There were still rumors of Tarantotic on the planet of Korriban, a dark world some believed to be the birthplace of the Sith. That is where Exar Kun was corrupted during the First Sith War. They never went to Korriban. The Council, fearing more Jedi might fall to the dark side, declared the Great Hunt was officially over, though 3 Jedi were appointed to continue the work. The work of killing the Tarantotic, you mean? The Jedi chosen to continue the hunt on their own were Duran Kildroma, Gun Han Saresh, and Shayla Nur. These 3 shared a powerful bond, and each of them was devoted to the light. The Council felt that together they would be able to defeat any Tarantotic they found, and by supporting each other they could resist the temptations of Korriban and lure of the dark side. But none of the 3 survived. Their master felt them become one with the Force when they left this world. He believed they were slain by one of the monsters they sought. The Council felt it was too dangerous to send anyone else in search of their remains, so their exact fate is not known. But let their death serve as a warning to you, Padawan. Thanks for the warning. I'll be careful. A final warning as you go, Padawan. Do not underestimate the Tarantotic. If you do, you may suffer the same fate as those who disappeared after a great hunt. Okay, interesting. So that's a very interesting bit of lore to drop. That there are effectively Force-born monsters that are resistant to the Force and hunt those strong in the Force, and we might bump into one of them. So far, the only thing we know of is that there might be one in on Korriban, one of the worlds we are set to visit. Something seems to be bothering Karf. Maybe you should speak to him and see if you can get him to open up about it.
Yes, what's on your mind?
You've been very quiet lately. You know that?
Have I been quiet? Suppose I have. I guess I just don't like being left out of the loop.
Oh, poor baby. You need filling in some detail. Left out of the loop? I don't understand.
Left out of the loop, you know, not being told anything, strung along. It's really starting to irritate me. For one thing, I want to know what the Jedi Council said to you. They pulled you in there and refused to tell me a thing about it.
That is none of your concern, Karth, and you would do well to leave the matter be.
I respect you, Bastila, but you've been as closed-mouthed as the rest of the Council. If you won't talk to me, then maybe somebody else will.
Well, let's be forthcoming. They thought it was more important that I help find the star maps than stay.
And why is that? You were a great help on Terrace, but why would they keep you with us? Don't they have to train you?
They said there's a bond between Bastila and myself.
A bond? What kind of bond? You mean to say that they told you that you were tied to Bastila in some way? I have trouble believing that. You're a neophyte Padawan who's been saddled with the responsibility of tracking down these star maps. Why? That's not normal. I am not trying to provoke you or to imply that you're somehow responsible for the Jedi Council, but give me a hand here. There has to be a reason.
These two are not really the best options, and then there's this one, which doesn't really answer his question. The right answer would be, I really don't know, man. But this last one, I don't know. I guess it's the best one we got. Bastila and I have a bond. We have to do this together. That's all I'm going to say.
And what does that mean? Is this more of that destiny garbage that the Jedi keep talking about? Well, that can't be it. Well, I'll tell you this much, I'm not gonna wait around until I'm betrayed again.
I am not going to betray you. I am not Saul.
Yeah, we'll just see about that, won't we? Look, I didn't mean it that way. I want to get to Saul, not... No, forget it. It just seems that all I can do is insult you, isn't it? Just forget I said anything. Let's just get on with what we were doing.
All right, there we go. This is a new journal entry. Karth feels like he's being left out of the loop, where the Jedi Council and Bastila are concerned because of the betrayals in his past. He's not reacting to the situation well. Hopefully, in time, he'll learn to cope with his emotional demons. A young Cathar Jedi. By the way, the Cathar are the cat species of Star Wars. This isn't like Final Fantasy or other fantasy species where she's like anthropomorphic. As you can see, she has a very off-putting appearance, which they did change in the Old Republic. The Cathar are more furred. They have more fur on them than they did in the Old Republic. So we are now on board the Ebon Hawk, which is funny because unless you intentionally came back here to check on it between missions, this is technically the first time you'd be able to properly explore the inside of the Ebon Hawk. If you go to the map here, it's fully mapped out. It's kind of reminiscent of the Millennium Falcon, but not really. I think what they did was they took the Millennium Falcon's circular design, because the Millennium Falcon does have a circular design. You can actually run a perfect circle around the Falcon. But what's the word I'm looking for here? But this one has a more semicircular design. So first off, if we go over here to the left, we have mission in one of the two crew quarters, which, shows it can perfectly accommodate 3 people. What does mission have to say?
Hey there, what can I do for you?
While on board the Ebon Hawk, you can freely talk to your party as you wish. So what we're going to do is we're going to spend the rest of this part getting caught up on our party members' baggage, as it were, so we can kind of advance their stories more, because we are on a time limit to do these specific stories. I won't say when it's going to happen, but these are timed. I want to talk to you about your brother.
Don't worry. I won't let the search for Griff get in the way of what we're doing. Let's just get back to the task at hand. Is there anything else I can help you with?
So we're all caught up with mission. That's good.
Okay, have it your way.
Now let's go talk to Canderous. I want to see if we actually are caught up with him. Oh, this is your hangar bay. This is your swoop bike. Anytime you want to do a swoop race, it is heavily implied this is a swoop bike you are using to race in swoop races. Which, yeah, we do have more to do. Canderous.
Yeah, what do you want?
I was wondering if you had any more war stories.
I was one of the best youth warriors in the clan Ordo in my time. No one before me had mastered the power of our basilisk war droids as quickly as I had. Except Mandalore himself, of course. In those days, we were sweeping across the Outer Rim, destroying all who fought us. Young Mandalores would prove themselves in real combat with unknown opponents above 1,000 worlds. Each brought back stories of his achievements.
So yeah, so he mentioned the Basilisk War Droid. If you actually look up fan art of the Basilisk War Droid, it kind of looks like, well, fans before, I think this was before Knights of the Republic 2 came out, where you actually got to see a proper Basilisk War Droid. Fans depicted it as kind of like a robotic wolf saber-toothed tiger thing. It was pretty badass, but when you actually see what it is and then you remember what Canderous said it was for, it makes a lot more sense. Also, again, I don't know if I brought this up earlier, but originally, the leader of the Mandalorian clans was called Mandalore. And Mandalorians were also called Mandalores as well, according to this particular iteration. Now, granted, at this point in time, Mandalorians weren't really well fleshed out when this game was released. But as the years went on and as people got more and more interested in Mandalorians, especially when they tied it to Boba Fett, it got way more fleshed out than what we have now. Also, yes, you have Mandalore the leader, Mandalore the planet, and Mandalore the people. It gets confusing pretty quick, but when you pick up on the phonetic slash contextual, well, you have to pick up on the context of the conversation, then you'll understand what they're talking about. I would have harnessed that power sooner. What was your story?
I remember it well, orbiting high above a placid world, its defenses just stirring. As was tradition, I would go ahead of the first wave to find enemies in the thickest fighting. I remember sitting there in my armor, linked directly with a basilisk thrumming beneath me, my heart racing with fear of the coming battle.
I didn't think Mandalorians got afraid.
Every new warrior has to fear to understand how to beat it. You must know that. The doors opened in front of me, and the air was sucked out of the drop bay, scattering crystals of frozen vapor across my path. I can't describe what it feels like to look directly down at a world, falling continuously as you circle it, with barely 15 centimeters of armor plate protecting you. When the magnetic locks disengaged on my droid, I plunged out of the drop bay towards the battle that waited below.
So basically, for reference, in case any of you guys are kind of new to Star Wars or you aren't up on the lore, Canderous was basically at a young age, his initiation, and I'm doing massive air quotes, was to be a hell jumper from Halo. To give you an idea of what his thing was. And the way he's describing it, he didn't really have a drop pod. He was just on the back of a droid. There you go. You dropped from orbit riding a droid.
The exhilaration, the euphoria I felt as I streaked into the atmosphere, dodging self-guided projectiles and beam weapons, was unmatched. An 80-kilometer plunge through the atmosphere, dodging and weaving, the outside of my armor glowing like the sun with the heat of re-entry. And with barely 30 meters to spare, I twisted and skimmed the surface, firing at the giant beam generators that were in my path. The explosion from that sent shock waves that leveled the entire complex around it. It was the moment of my life.
That was some fight.
I'll never forget those times. But things are different now. We can't go on fighting the way we did. There are too few of us left now. But I really don't want to talk about this anymore. I trust I've satisfied your curiosity for now. Is there something else you want to know?
Also, you can always come to Canderous if you want some adrenaline stimulants. So if you're low on stimulants, he can give you some, but you can't spam it. I think he can only give you one per visit to a world. Nothing more for now.
Your choice. I'm here if you want something done right.
Alright, so what we have here? Canderous. Canderous told you about what it's like to drop through the atmosphere in one of the Mandalorian's basilisk war droids. From what he said, they must have been fearsome weapons. He would probably tell you more stories if you talk to him later. Yeah, so this is why it's kind of weird, the interpretations of the basilisk war droid. Once you see it in the sequel, because you do see a basilisk war droid in the sequel. I'm going to let you know that one up the front, off the jump. I don't think Obsidian got the memo about what the war droid was, because it looks very different in the sequel than it does how Candace described it. Anyway, this is the engine room. This is your med bay. This is where you climb up to get to your turret. If you remember A New Hope, those last look very familiar. This is the cargo bay. You have your supplies here. This is a store of emergency food and supplies. You also have all these extra boxes here that I think are empty. Yeah, all these containers are empty. And these containers are literally only here to, there's a compartment here. This appears to be some type of hidden smuggling compartment. Without proper codes, you will not be able to open it. This is basically these are basically here if you want to empty out extra items in case you don't want to hold on to them. If we go around here, here's the secondary restroom. Well, cabin, I guess. Here's the main area where you'll see T3 and 4. Then we have Zalbar and Juhani. Juhani, interesting enough, is in a different Jedi robe. We will probably bring her out on the next go round, but not right now. T3 and 4. And T3 can construct a programming spike for you. You don't talk much, do you? Just chime in if you ever need it, if you ever have any advice. Don't know how because T3 is not, you know, really well traveled. Zalbar, is there something you want? Do you, I was wondering if you could help me with a problem. Unless you want someone threatened or a door bashed in, you should ask someone else. Oh yeah, and Zalbar can make you grenades. I think it's just basic frag grenades. I want to, actually no, I think you can actually request the kind of grenade you want to make from. Actually, let's check it out. Alright, let's see what I can do. I think I have enough parts for something. Just a moment. There you go. One grenade. Careful with it. Okay. I want to know a little more about you, Zalbar. I will honor my left debt, but I don't feel we share more than that. Mission may say more, but I will not. You don't trust me? It is nothing personal, but I just don't feel you could understand anything about me. The ways of my people are not for outsiders to know. You'll have to be content with that. You'll have to tell me eventually. You'll have to tell me more eventually. That may be, but not today. Alright, maybe we'll talk later. Very well. Now, this is actually very consistent with a lot of Wookiee depictions of Wookiees in Star Wars media. We don't actually see... Oh, he gave us an adhesive grenade. It could have sworn been a frag grenade. Actually, wait, let's go down a little bit further just to make certain. Yeah, adhesive grenades. Oh, did not see that coming. But yeah, it's very consistent with how they depict Wookiees in Star Wars media. They're very stoic in nature. It's actually very rare to see them be extremely talkative. They're more the actions speak louder than words type. So you usually in Star Wars fiction usually see a Wookiee paired up with somebody a lot more energetic and talkative. Let's take Chewbacca for instance. Chewbacca has been depicted with Han in recent films, Rey, and Ahsoka in the Clone Wars series. And inside this series, we have Mission, the plucky young teenager, with Zalbar. Now let's speak to Juhani, see what she has to say. I don't know what this exact area actually is. I don't think they ever say. I think it's just a spare storage compartment.
I feel I must apologize for the way I acted towards you before in the Grove. It was wrong of me.
You thought the dark side had consumed you. It is nothing. That was terrible line delivery. Let's try that one more time. You thought the dark side had consumed you. It's nothing.
I am sorry for attacking you. I am sorry for thinking you would only try to kill me. I hope that by helping you in your task, I may redeem myself in your eyes, and in my own.
Ha! Unlikely! Do not worry, Johnny. I forgive you.
Thank you. It is most reassuring to know that you can forgive me, even though I tried to take your life. I can only hope that, in our time journeying together, I will succeed.
All right, nice. So that's Juhani. Juhani has apologized for the way she acted towards you. She seems to be very hard on herself for her actions. If you talk to her more, you may find out more about her. Well, let's see if we actually can talk to her just a little bit more.
How may I be of assistance to you, Padawan?
I was wondering if we could talk.
What is it you would like to speak to me about?
Yeah. Well, are you doing all right?
I thank you for your concern, but I am still a bit shaken.
Why? What's wrong? Or perhaps you just need more time.
More time would do me good. Time to distance myself from that anger. I think that is why the council agreed to send me with you. They think, perhaps, that in your company, I will be able to free myself from it.
If I see you begin to slip back, I will intervene.
I thank you for your concern and your acceptance. I will strive to prove that I am worthy of your company and trust.
All right, one more time.
How may I be of assistance to you, Padawan? What is it you would like to speak to me about?
How did you come to be a Jedi?
How I came to be a Jedi? I am sure you would not find it very interesting. Are you sure you would like to hear?
Yes, please continue.
Well, it goes back a number of years. Back on my homeworld, we did not see Jedi very often, especially where I lived.
What is the Cathar homeworld like?
It was not the homeworld of the Cathar that I lived on. My parents had long fled from that place, and perhaps that is a story for another time. Rather, it was a human hive world that I was raised on. The hind end of space. A pit of a world, to be sure, where Jedi rarely tread. But we had heard of them. Well, everyone had, so that is not to be unexpected. Champions of truth, defenders of justice, heroes of the Republic. It was very easy for a child to be enthralled by their image, their mystique. Maybe I was one of those children.
Did you meet a Jedi?
Yes. Yes, I did. When I saw a Jedi for the first time, they lived up to everything my imagination had created them to be. I was awed, and maybe a little enamored.
The imagination can be a dangerous thing.
From that moment on, I knew that I would have to try to become a Jedi. To lift myself out of the rut I had been living in for years, and to make a real difference as the Jedi wore. The foolish delusions of a child, but this child made it happen. As soon as I was able, I left my world and went in search of them. I found them and was accepted. I had been living my dream on Dantooine for several years before you came. Although, perhaps I was not entirely ready for it, or not completely suited to the task. Otherwise, I would not have fallen. But thanks to you, I have been redeemed. Perhaps I may yet live to see that dream of mine come true. Come, there is much we should do. Let us not waste time talking. Action is what is needed.
Okay, I think we're good with that. I don't think that she has any more to talk about. Now if we go up here, this is actually the, if my memory serves correct, this is actually the navigation room. I think that this is actually the navigation slash, I think, computer room? Communications room? No, it's the communications room. I'm trying to remember all these places. It's been a while since I've actually memorized them. And up front, this is the galaxy map. The Ebon Hawk's onboard navigational computer. When you are ready to leave Dantooine, you can use the galaxy map to travel to other planets around the galaxy. So up here, you're gonna bump into Bastila and Karth. I believe this is their station where they're always gonna be.
How can I help?
I want to talk about that dream.
It was less of a dream and more of a vision the two of us shared. But I am certainly willing to answer any questions the Jedi Council did not.
I still don't understand why we shared this vision.
Are you wondering why we shared the vision? Or why we even received it in the first place? To the first, I can only repeat the answer that the Council gave us. Our fates are linked, and for two as strong as we are in the Force, that amounts to a near-physical bond. As to the second, I truly don't have an answer for you. The Force works as it will, and perhaps we should be grateful for what we've been given.
But how did our fates become linked?
I don't know. Believe me, I certainly don't find the prospect of being joined to you enjoyable in any fashion.
It just seems a little convenient.
The Force often seems to cause events that bend the laws of probability, especially with those that are strongly affiliated with it. In this respect, you and I will simply have to become accustomed to such convenience. We are the tools of the Force, and we will do as it wills.
You make the Force sound alive.
There is no evidence one way or the other. What you believe the Force to be ultimately will decide who you are.
That's all I wanted to know.
As you wish. We really should return our thoughts to business anyway.
So here's how this kind of works. So we already talked to Carl, so Carl's already all caught up. We have, as you can see, 5 places we can go to on this galaxy map. If I had the DLC still installed, well, it's installed on my old Xbox. I couldn't transfer it to the new one, but if you had the DLC, you would have access to a 5th location, well, a 6th location that is basically a floating orbital station above Yavin. Actually, it's actually above Yavin 4 specifically, but you don't go to Yavin, and you can buy unique items there. One of the items is basically an armor from Knights of the Republic 2 for some reason, and a bronze lightsaber crystal and some other special lightsaber crystals. You're not missing out on much. There's no story content there whatsoever. It's one of the examples of horse armor back in the day. Like, everyone got upset about a horse armor on the 360 for Oblivion, but the original Xbox had its fair share of stuff like that too. So, so from there, we have Dantooine, Tatooine, Kashyyyk, Manon, and Korriban. Korriban is a volcanic mountain range. Native species, none known, is now settled, and there's Dredge settlement. We're not going there. There's Manon, worldwide ocean. Native species, Selkath, docking, city of Otto. This is not. I believe the planet is called Nautilus, which is where Kit Fisto and I used to know the name of the other squid species that inhabited it, but it's not the planet that was centered to that underwater fight scene from onto a few underwater episodes from it's also the home of not just Kit Fisto, it's the home of Admiral Akbar species, which again the name escapes me now, and I will remember it after recording. I promise you that one. It was my bad. Yeah, it was the squids, and it was Admiral Akbar species. Kit Fisto just happened to come from another ocean planet that made it easy for him to occupy there. But it's not that planet. This is a completely different ocean world. I don't even think Manon even shows up in prequel era, sequel era, or original era media. I think it's exclusively relegated to the original Knights of the Republic. I don't even think it shows up in the Old Republic. Then we have Kashyyyk. Terrain is a temperate forest. Native species the Wookiees. Docking, Zerker Corp outpost. We're not going here either. Then we have Tatooine. Desert, canyons, native species are the Jawas and Sand People, otherwise known as the Tusken Raiders. And we have the docking station of Anchorhead Settlement. Not Mos Eisley. Anchorhead, I think, is just to the west of Mos Eisley. I think it's actually one of the settlements you can actually see from a distance in one of the movies. We're gonna go here first because there's two things I want to pick up here specifically, but we will go there next time. I have been Anansi, you have been awesome, and I'll catch you later.
Lord Malak, the Star Forge is operating at 200% capacity, far beyond our expectations.
I am more interested in the young Jedi Bastila and her battle meditation. Have you learned how she escaped the destruction of Taris?
She was aided by Karth Onasi, a decorated war hero of the Republic and a legendary soldier. During the Mandalore Wars, he was honored many times for his bravery.
You know this man?
Yes, Lord Malak. He served under me when I still followed the Republic. You could say I was his mentor.
Interesting. How did you acquire this information, Admiral?
An eyewitness, Lord Malak. Calo Nord, a bounty hunter, was there when Bastila and Karth escaped the planet. Apparently, they left him for dead.
A Jedi and a war hero. It's a wonder you survived the encounter.
I am hard to kill, Lord Malak.
Calo has agreed to help us capture the young Bastila for a very hefty fee, of course. But I assure you he is well worth the price. His reputation as a bounty hunter is well earned.
Her companions are nothing to me, Calo. But I desire the young Jedi taken alive, if at all possible.
Lord Malak, forgive me. There is something else. May we have a private audience away from the ears of the common soldiers?
I trust you are not wasting my time, Admiral Karath.
I promise you will be very interested in what Calo has to tell you about Bastila's other companions, Lord Malak.